Okay, so setting an intention for yourself. For this journey together into spirit, Shambhala impact, Shambhala force, Shambhala energy, spirit, monad. And we're going to journey with, true abundance, true wealth, what that can mean, or how to experience that, touch that. So I don't remember the exact quote, and just because the theme has come from those present right now who have requested deeper work into the money piece, but at the spirit level, and trust in the base. So these two are related. I didn't prepare for this transmission, so I don't have the quote in front of me. But in Mercury Transmissions 2020, on the piece that has to do with money, on the money piece, I think it's in there, but anyway, it's in one of the three, whether it's power, sex, or money. And he says that understanding or connecting to abundance is not about, this is what I take away from it. This is not what he says. Is not about having more. It's not about the number. It's not about X amount of money or assets or possessions or anything like that. And if we remember, how do things work on our planet, our home, Earth? We as Earth decided to take on more density in the hopes that bet, that experiment would pay off by having more of what is in the ethers, land, when there's more form ready for it, more form there to hold it, more density. The higher the denser the density, it's equal, must also be that much more. So that was the bet. It's like working with polarities. One extreme, intensify it. The other extreme will have to be its match, will be intensified. So money is probably where life or spirit has the least, not access, but visibility, recognition. It's not that it's not there. It's just, what have we done with it in not being able to recognize it or see it? And so then we say, bring in more life into this, where the truth is, the energy of spirit is there, soul forms around it, and form shapes itself around it. Not the other way around. Not that we have to bring in, because we have form, then we bring in soul, and then we bring in spirit. That's not how things work on this planet. But because of our density, we don't always remember that. And especially when it comes to money. Especially. So taking a moment to connect to your current relationship to money, and maybe it has evolved in many different ways over the decades. your current relationship to money. And most likely there is some bits that fall under personality and some bits that fall under soul in the relating. And there might be tension, or there might be contradiction, conflict between the two. So connecting to what that does, that tension or contradiction, what that does in your base. That maybe there's a part of you that truly, honestly believes, yes, trust, yes, have faith, yes, it will come. Do not hoard. Don't go for the survival response, etc., etc. And then that brings up probably some objections. And so what happens in your base where this war is, or this battle, not a war, this battle is fought, this tug of war. And there's a few underlying aspects of money that run our current system and our base that are not life aligned. Debt, connecting to the sense in your base that you owe. And it may not be a figure that you pay an interest on and through the banks or anything like that, but you owe your existence, you owe your happiness, you owe your worth, you got to earn it or you owe it. Like it's not freely given, it's not inherent. You owe. And how that feels in your whole system to connect to that sense of debt. I need to earn, or I need to keep working hard so that I can earn, or so that I can pay off debts because I owe. My existence is owed. It's not free. And another quality of how the money system is run currently, it's linked to owe and debt, scarcity. There is not enough, and I am not enough. There are not enough resources on the planet for the 8 billion humans plus the other kingdoms that are, fighting for their piece of the pie. There is not enough to sustain us. There is not enough to go around. Scarcity. And also then that internalization, just like we did with the debt, the scarcity of I'm not enough. I'm not enough, good enough, pretty enough, sexy enough, smart enough, whatever enough, lovable enough. Again, based on not having the inherent value, birthright value. Gotta earn it. Somebody or something's gotta improve the enoughness, approve the enoughness, and that someone or something is not you. So same root for the debt and the scarcity, disconnection from our inherent value. Notice how that affects your system. What choices are made from there that have to do with money or otherwise. And the third and last component that aspect that I'm going to mention about how our current system functions. We have debt or owing, we have scarcity, not enoughness, and we have possession, ownership. Property, land, somehow through pieces of paper and stamps and signatures is owned. And therefore, what happens on that land is yours. Money is owned. Labor is owned. Ownership and possession. Money, assets, wealth, property. I don't know about you, but I feel my when I speak this, my base just clenches, like physically clenches without like an intention for me to clench. Notice what happens in your system as you connect to the reality of mine, my, money, property, assets, wealth, goods, labor, whatever, wealth. And letting the intensity and perhaps weight of it or density of it really touch you in your base and in your heart, perhaps, or your whole being. Operating and contributing, having inherited and having sustained in our own ways, more or less, these three aspects of money, system, abundance, lack of abundance. So owning your part as of today, not necessarily, you don't have to go through everything that's ever happened in the past 50 years in this life, but as of today, where can you see in those three categories that you play an active part to sustain that system? even if it's just at the level of belief that I hold inside. Now connecting, because we're going to go, of course, third ray monadic approach. Connecting to land that you have recognized as where there's a vibration of life force, tangible, practical. Maybe you don't recognize that in the middle of a city on concrete. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't recognize it in every lake, but there's a particular lake or river or desert or forest or tree, just even a tree. Some part of nature on this great earth today where you recognize have been the receiving end of a life force transmission. Another minute to connect to that. Bring that up for yourself. If there's more than one, focus on one right now. It's okay. And activate that fully in your body, that transmission, that connection. You may not be there right now, but your body remembers. There are sensations, memories imprinted. Call them forth. And maybe this land offers fruits or wild herbs or who knows what for the consumption of the different kingdoms, of the animal kingdom, of the human kingdom. Maybe it doesn't. Is it any more or less abundant? Even if it is the Sahara Desert. The abundance is not based on form or what others can consume or can be sold, monetarized. It's an energy. Receiving that transmission of abundance. It is full with life. And naming out loud for yourself, you don't have to unmute. What are the qualities of that life force transmission? Maybe it's peace, maybe it's creation, maybe it's power, maybe it's love, maybe it's bliss, ecstasy. Whatever it is, name it out loud, honor it, recognize it, honor it. And now use that as a bridge, use it as a portal, a doorway to go through and enter the land, river, waters, deserts, whatever it is of nature, tree. Enter by vibrating this quality, becoming it, and your whole being become this quality until you merge or enter and dissolve into that nature. Swallowed up, letting go of any identification of a smaller I and becoming one with the greater I, life, I, earth. Fusion, monadic fusion with the earth. Let it completely swallow you until there is no you, devour you. And connect to the power now that you are earth, that you are life, boundless, limitless, formless, and yet existing in all forms through space and time. The cycles of death and birth and death and rebirth, swallowing it up in your core, earth, and spitting it back out in some other form, same as the black hole in the center of our galaxy and all black holes. To where all returns and from where all comes, all is birthed. Is there any sense of scarcity? That there is not enough? Or that I, earth, I, life, God, is not enough? Any sense of debt? Owing? Could anything possibly possess this energy? That when I, earth, simply stretch a bit, the humans call it an earthquake. Can anyone or anything possess or own life, love? And maybe you even feel the ecstatic current of life. Maybe it's more just bliss or peaceful, but it cannot be contained. Put into little boxes. Spending another couple minutes connecting to this life force energy at the core of the earth, transmission of abundance. And letting this now trickle out back out into the you, the smaller I that's having this incarnated experience of soul in a body that is connecting to a particular piece of land or aspect of nature, or tree, a river, a desert. Holding on to this transmission still with that land. Letting that teach you. Letting that teach you. If not possession, if that's a distortion, then what is the healthy version? And we humans got it wrong. We deviated. We took a wrong turn. Let's get back on the right track. What is possession a distortion of? If I'm going to let go of feeling that I need to possess land, property, assets, money, etc., what is it that I can connect to? That is an honor, is honoring this life at the core, and this abundance at the core of all matter. When you have it, saying it out loud, loud enough to hear yourself. And feeling it, feeling its impact. And what that does to your base. Does it help it stay connected to the life force in the earth and to a sense of true abundance, true wealth? And if not scarcity, again, one of these three pillars that is a distortion. We muffled it up as humans. If it's not scarcity, then what is the healthy version? A healthy version of what this was always meant to be. What is at the essence, the core of what then became a shadow, became scarcity, not enoughness. What is it? Saying it out loud, loud enough to hear yourself, and noticing not only how your base vibrates, but how does the earth respond? And if not debt and owing, then what is it? What is at the heart of this distortion, this shadow? How can we get back on the right track, on the right path? What is it? When you have it, naming it out loud, loud enough to hear yourself. And again, feeling your base. And not only this piece of land or aspect of nature that you've been connecting to, but beyond it. Go bigger, go broader. Let more of Earth feel you. You're coming back on track, that we're coming back on track. That the bet it took on us humans, is paying off. It wasn't in vain, even as we continue to destroy the surface of our home and ourselves. It is not in vain. We are coming back on track. So instead of asking the question, can I trust? Can I trust life that it will provide? Can I trust Earth that it's going to support me? I invite you to reframe that question. Can I be trusted to stay in alignment? Can I be trusted to hear, resonate, vibrate with, feel, stay on course with what has always been there, has always meant to be our inheritance and our true expression of humans, of what it means to be human, not this distorted version. Can I be trusted? I, this cell on this planet, I, Earth, but can this cell be trusted? To remember itself as life, love, and power, and not turn cancerous. Cancer is when a cell attacks its own body. And now for the last stage of this journey. Taking all of this out now to the money piece in your life. Whatever money you've got, cash money as in paper. And if you've got none, all right, coin. Originally, money was created so that it could be an exchange, like you go to the movie theater or you go to some play and you're going to check in your jacket because it's winter and you get a ticket, a token or something, and then you have to give it back and you get your jacket. Well, it was like that, but with grains, like somewhere to store the grains. So I get a ticket for that many grains. And then in the winter, I can cash in my ticket and get grains back. And that's how money started. And then we got this distorted version of like, oh, money is sinful with the whole Christianity thing movement. And so then it was like, oh, it's the thing of the Jews and they're the ones who like handle money and you don't let a Jew into your house kind of thing. And it became dirtier, it became bad, it became evil, and debt, in particular debt. This coin exchange thing got distorted into debt, that, oh, but you owe. No, I don't know. What? So now bring it back to money. Bring it back to money. We've come a long way from what the original intention was of how money started to come about and how the concept of debt started to evolve in ownership of bodies, of land, of human bodies, of land, of property, of the fruits of that land. So take it to the piece of paper or the coins or the plastic that represents that piece of paper and coins. Can I be trusted to see, feel, resonate with life, love, and power in this? Not as my possession, not from a place of scarcity, nor from a place of owing or being owed to. Apply the 3 qualities you named for yourself, that if you went into the distortion, you got the essence, the real, the true version. Apply those 3, whatever you said, to money. Can I be trusted to honor money as an example, a symbol, a representative of life, love, and power? It's not about spirit in the heavens or Father Spirit in the sky or something in the clouds. It's about seeing spirit in the densest of matter. Money is amongst that. Can you recognize God? God's intention here and act accordingly? Not religion, God. Life, God. Goddess, whatever you want to call it. So what's the one thing I can do as soon as this journey is complete? What's the one thing I can do to honor that relationship of spirit in densest of matter? That bet you made, Earth, it is not in vain. Okay, taking some deep breaths, letting that settle. I know for me it was intense, so if it was for you as well, I'm happy for you. And I know it may be need some time for integration, so inviting you to take the time you need. And also inviting you to share here any insights or maybe those three qualities at the source, at the core of those 3 distortions. Because again, abundance is about recognizing it. It's not about creating it or finding it. It's recognizing it. It's not about having more. So space is open. I know for me, I've never led the money piece this way, and I'm super grateful to those who are here and invited this piece to come through, and I gained a lot and got some insights as well. So I'm super, super grateful, not only for what came through, but how I can benefit. So thank you.
I can share that there's the instead of possession, and this is something I think both you, Taki'h, and Timo, and then Nikkilä, they have all like taught it that there's guardianship and there's custody, and that's about it. Like, how could I own a place which will outlive me, outdate me, and there's only like I can be in service of this place, but I could never own it. So that's really strong, and that it's more that there's love that can I give this, hand it over forward in a better place than that I got it. So that's really strong. And then instead of the scarcity, there's also both Nikkilä and Nikkilä. There's just like like so many apples rotting on our garden because we just don't have the time to pick them, and there's like more than we can drink and more than we can eat, and there's like just like, and I remember this line from DK, freely given, and that is just the best. Like, yeah, it is all freely given, and then we just imagine that there's lack, and there's the death was the most difficult one. That was like, okay, what is there instead of death? There's actually, I felt that there's actually this backing up, like life backing up, or I can back up something that there's like, and also I can share that after this, like what we did on this, like backing up some souls. So there was also like both Mario and me wanted to still back up both Simo's soul work by offering the space for free for some time, and also for Laura's soul work to offer that space for free. So they can be backing up, and there's also this like, instead of death, can I just go in the like flow and surrender that money comes and goes. It doesn't like stay and I need to get it and be in death, but can I just like let it move through me? So something on those lines. And also this one vision that I got from this on Sunday when we worked, and it was very alive now, that like somewhere in some life there's been just like this money has been used so much for something which has been off, that there is a part of me which rejects it unconsciously, like the money, that it doesn't want, like, yes, as much as I need for like this place or right now to but not more, because then it would like taint me, or I would use it for something else. And then just like, and Kaya helped me there, that like if energy is love and money is energy, so money is love, and coming from that, and if money is power, and power, you can be in pure power and own power, you won't be like moved an inch. But if I'm in my power, there's no matter how much money or resources you can have, you let them flow wherever the life needs to go. So, and that's still very alive. Yeah, thank you.
Going once.
Yeah, I can share. Thank you so much. This was so powerful, especially since I'm at my home, and there's been so much like scarcity and fights over money, and like so I just felt like this block opening of like that we are not wanting to receive because it brings trouble. It brings like fights with people, and it brings like misfortune, and yeah, this kind of, so I just like 5 minutes ago when I was standing in front of the house. I was just feeling it opening, that I can receive, and we can receive the love and abundance. And it was also funny because my battery was going down, and it was like going down. I came inside to stick it like to be recharged, and it kept on going down, and then I had this fear of like, oh, I'm gonna be disconnected, and then I was like, okay, just relax, and it went down to 3%, and now it's coming up. So it was like also a practice just now. And one thing I also felt super strong is like the errors of money, like how the money has its own intelligence and it wants to move. Like I really felt that like intelligence, and it like wants to just flow through us, and it was really like blissful, and like it felt really good. So yeah, love to bring this and follow these errors of money. Thank you so much for this.
Yeah, what you just said about, I don't know your personal situation, but about being able to receive, and what happens in families, and sometimes there's inheritance issues, or families are split apart over such things. And I remember to this summer when my father was in a coma, and then he died, and I remember people saying, God, I hope he makes it, and this and that. And my mother and my brother were saying the same thing, we got to pray that he's going to make it, and that, we can see him one last time, or that he has a few more years to go, and this and that. And I never said this publicly to anybody, and I only shared it with two people, John and Timo, because I felt like I would be judged. But I couldn't pray that he may live. Whatever is in the highest interest of his soul is what needs to happen. And I cannot interfere. And it would be egotistical of me. And in the same way, to this possession piece, or this, hoping that things work out a certain way around money. Sometimes it is in our best interest to lose the house, to get fired, to be broke, because that's the karma we need to go through. And we cannot see the wisdom, and I'm not saying this is at all your case, Abaya, it's just it brought this, that I want to comment on this, that we cannot see the wisdom of that from this ant's point of view of this one life. And even if we remember some aspects of previous lives, that's still like 3 ants, or something, trying to have like an aerial view of the earth. It's not possible. The wisdom that is weaved over millennia and eons by the intelligence and wisdom of matter is not something an ant can decipher. And that's the part that we've got to really, in our hearts, in our base, in our beings, like when we connect, like remember that. It doesn't mean I can't have longings, I can't have wishes, I can't have hopes, I can't have dreams, aspirations, make investments, etc. Of course, I live my ant's life. Or let's say from soul perspective, I live my eagle, condor, swan level vision life. Absolutely. And there is, the trees that have been here for hundreds of years and sometimes thousands. Like, yeah, their perspective. So yeah, we find ourselves very human centric, very egocentric, and very in this one life centric. And Yeah. My last comments, which about what you shared, Jaakko, for the possession piece, it was also this guardianship and this stewardship, or this yeah, that I'm a guardian, because that is right relationship. As a human, I am meant, as a cell, I am meant to do my part on this part of Earth body. And so I take that responsibility. It doesn't mean I own, like this cell does not own this body. This cell doesn't even own this part of the body. But yeah, there is a guardianship. And just like you said, that was so touching. I was crying, to leave it in better, with more love, or better attended to, or more free than how it came through into my guardianship and is being passed on, something along those lines. And then this piece around scarcity, for me, what came was flow. That from that perspective of cycles of seasons and of ages, like ice ages and this age and that, it's like at a scale of time and space, it is very difficult for us as humans to really, get any grasp on this flow. Did somebody say during ice age, like, well, nobody was probably really around to say much, but but you get what I'm saying, that like that's not any less than, it's not like winter is any less than summer or spring, or the seasons, they work together. The winter is needed for what's to come, and for those places that don't have seasons like that, whatever the flow is, whatever the peaks and valleys, whatever that flow or that cycle is of nature, it's not scarcity. There's a wisdom to the peaks and valleys. There's a wisdom to that flow. There's a wisdom to those cycles. It doesn't mean you're always on the high. It doesn't. That doesn't mean scarcity. And the last piece about debt, I agree with you. It is the hardest. It was for me also. I'm not saying it's the hardest for humanity. And did I lose it? Wait, what was it? Hold on. I just lost it. What karma is that? Hold on. Give me a moment. Bear with me. Oh my God. Yes. You saw that happen, right? In real time. Like, how strong is that? Right. It's inherent value. And I said it twice while I was guiding it. And then I was like, zip it, because I didn't know how this whole thing was going to go. And then like it went in the way it went. And then I was like, okay, don't repeat this, because I want everyone to go through, their own experience. And I don't want to give answers. It's got to be whatever is truly lived and experienced wherever you reach. But for me, what came was inherent value. If we recognize our inherent value, it's like, if you're born the heir of some kingdom or some business or some fill in the blank for yourself, a house, whatever, but you're the heir, you're the rightful heir. I do quotes, ownership. There's an inherent, you're born, with that, like, I don't need to earn this. Like, it's inherent. I'm born into it, like a last name in olden days or whatever. It's like, there's a thing that comes with it. Well, the same thing from freaking being born on the planet. In a human body. Fourth kingdom. Bridging animal and soul. Third and fifth kingdoms. There's an inherent value there, if we are willing to claim our inheritance. And it's like we get amnesia. It's like, I forgot. I forgot I was born into it. I forgot that's like my last name thing, whatever the equivalent is for you. So yeah, that's what came for me, and I'm glad it came back. Thank you for bearing with me. Yeah, lots of laughs. And thank you for invoking this together Thank you.